Hello and welcome to the Justice Factor. DA leader Helen Zille has been in the news lately, and some people are now suggesting it is time for her to go. No one, however, is challenging her for the leadership of the party except a 17-year-old matric student from KwaZulu-Natal. Nicholas Farrel says, and I quote, "I will stand in protest against someone because someone must run against Helen Zille," close quote. Farrel joins us today from our studios in Durban. After that discussion, we'll speak to DA Federal Chairperson Wilmot James and City Press Editor-at-Large Mondli Makanya. We will ask them this question: should the statue of Cecil John Rhodes be removed from the University of Cape Town? After that, we'll give you our winner and loser of the week. But first, we speak to Nicholas Farrel, the 17-year-old who wants to challenge Helen Zille for the leadership of the DA. Nicholas Farrel, welcome to the show. Let me ask you this. Why are you doing this?
Good evening, Justice, and thank you so much for having me on, and it's great to talk to you again. I'm challenging Helen Zille for the leadership of the Democratic Alliance because I believe that for the sake of democracy and for the sake of the party, someone must challenge her. And I want to make clear that I have no issue with the DA in government, that I have no issue with the governance part of the party. I believe that Helen Zille is a great premier and one of the great governors of Africa. And I have no issue with what she's done for the people of the Western Cape. The Democratic Alliance is the only party in the entire country dedicated to creating jobs, providing better hospitals and building homes for citizens all over the country.
Let me stop you there, Nicholas. If then the DA is so fantastic and it is led by Helen Zille, why are you saying that it needs a change, and why are you putting yourself forward?
Well, I'm standing against Helen Zille for the leadership of the party, not for the premiership of the Western Cape. I'm standing against Helen Zille because I believe that the state of the party is not in a good space because of increasingly autocratic behavior from our leader, Premier Zille. And I believe that for the sake of democracy, someone must run against her. And it must be said that I'm doing this in protest, and I have no intention to win this election. And I'm doing this with the aim of creating a stronger alliance, a more united alliance, and a more democratic alliance.
You seem to be suggesting that there's a culture of fear in the DA whereby leaders, senior leaders are afraid to take on Ms. Zille for the leadership of the position of the party. Is that what you're saying?
I think one of the most telling features of the culture in the DA at the moment is that when you look at newspaper reports, there's a worrying amount of people who are being quoted as unnamed sources within the DA. And one has to ask a question: what is going wrong within an organization when people aren't talking openly and putting their names on things? And I think that's the danger within the party. And I also want to make a point that when ideas are challenged, when leaders are held to account, and when there's an open discussion and debates, that organization, those ideas and those leaders will always come out stronger than before. And that's why it's my intention to run against Helen Zille, to start a debate, to challenge ideas and thoughts, because no one has challenged her since 2007, and I think that's a very worrying fact for our party. You've
spoken about the virtues of a DA-run province in the Western Cape and so forth, but when I look at the DA's track record in elections, Ms. Zille's leadership took it from 12% to 16% to 22% in the May 7 election last year. Surely this is a leader who has done well and deserves another crack at the leadership.
Premier Zille has done an outstanding job in leading the party up until now. She has grown our support base unbelievably, and she's attracted voters from all sorts of different political backgrounds, and she must be commended on that fact. But there comes a time when a leader needs to say, I have done what I've needed to do. And I think a very good example is Margaret Thatcher. And I don't want to compare the two, but I think that when you have succeeded in your goal and your task, I think it's time for a leader to say, let's let other people in the party take over the leadership and take us that next step into getting into national government, which is our next goal. But also Premier Zille promised us, or set the goal, of 30% of the national votes. And I believe in a truly democratic party, if a leader fails to reach that goal or that objective and that in their mandates, I think that's by such a long way. I think that resigning or stepping down and letting other leaders take up leadership roles is exactly what a leader should do.
People have asked me this question: why are you having Nicholas Farrel on your show? He's being used by other people in the DA, by more senior leaders. Are you being used by others, and who are those people?
I'm absolutely not being used by anyone to bring forward an agenda. And I'd like to say to those people who think I'm being manipulated that it's incredibly dangerous to belittle the youth. And we must stop asking questions to why we are so unattractive to young voters. And secondly, to those people in the DA who have criticized my move, I completely understand. But when those leaders go on Twitter, national leaders go on Twitter and start belittling what we are doing, and when I say we, I'm talking about a whole lot of people who have supported this campaign, when we belittle, I think it's incredibly dangerous, because when someone is standing up for freedom of the press, it is not funny. When someone is standing up to someone who is attacking religious minorities, it is not funny. When someone is standing up for liberal principles, it is not funny. And when someone is standing up for democratic principles, it is no joke. And I do not take it as such.
Is that what you are accusing Ms. Zille of doing, attacking minorities, of attacking the media and so forth? I noticed that you have written in the past, in fact in January, that, Ms. Zille keeps on attacking the media, something that happened again last week.
Yeah, the freedom of the press is enshrined in our Constitution in Chapter 2, and it's of incredible importance to our Constitution and to ensuring our democracy is a success. As a former journalist, I think Helen Zille understands the media, understands journalism, but I think she's doing us no favors in the media when she's making these attacks. And I think there was a very good newspaper article written by the Mail and Guardian listing how she's attacked journalists. And I think that's very, very dangerous. And when I see that, I'm reminded of a quote by one of our founding members, Helen Zille. You must take a stand against something you know to be wrong. And I know that an attack on press freedom is wrong. I know an attack on religious minorities is wrong. I know that an autocratic leadership style in a democratic party is wrong. I must take a stand against those issues. If no one stands with me, it doesn't matter. I will take a stand against
Nicholas
those issues
Farrel,
because I know them to be wrong.
In May, you're going to the Federal Congress. You're standing against Ms. Zille. You yourself believe that you will not win this battle. What happens after that? Do you believe that Helen Zille will win? What will you have gained by your campaign and your vociferousness on these issues?
Well, I think a debate is starting to form. I'm very encouraged by the comments we're getting online. I'm very encouraged by the feedback I'm getting, some very negative and some very positive. I think we're starting to think about the leadership. But as I said earlier, when ideas are challenged, when leaders are held to account, we as a party, our beliefs and our principles will come out stronger at the end. When there is a democratic, controlled protest candidacy, I think that is going to be extraordinarily beneficial for our party. And I mean no disrespect by doing this. I don't aim to hurt the party. When we have open debate and dialogue, we will come out stronger. And that's why I'm doing this.
Thank you very much, Nicholas Farrel, and good luck in May.
Thank you so much, Justice. I so appreciate being on here with you.
Coming up, we ask Wilmot James and Monty Makanya if UCT should remove the statue of Cecil John Rhodes from the university. Stay with us.